Alright guys, make sure 5 o'clock, Mr. Killer Instinct himself, Ken Lau from the original team, is gonna hop on the sticks versus the EVO folks over here. We'll play some games. You saw him doing work over at E3, but let's show him how we rock.
He was dead after hit 12. Absolutely be in season 3 as well, and also joining us for season 3 is Sandra Diana, who plays Phoenix. So season 3, let's just get this started, I guess, because for the majority of this panel, I actually want to do Q&A, because who was here last year, like last year's panel? A few of you guys. Like, we went a long time for Q&A, and it was obviously the most interesting part of that panel. So we're going to dedicate the greater 3/4 of the panel to Q&A and answering any questions you guys might have about the show, any questions for any of our actors of the show, or video games or otherwise. But we're going to start off by talking about season 3 of Assist Me. Yeah. Who saw season 1, 2, or Retro Assist Me? Yeah! No one saw it, man.
And nobody saw Ultimate?
Ultimate as well, yeah, I keep forgetting about that one. So,
I like people over there.
Dormammu's creepy game. So we had an interesting story arc for the previous seasons of Assist Me. I'll fill you guys in. In season 2, there was this lurking presence that we never actually found out what it was. Phoenix went mystically missing. Big spoiler, she's coming back at some point, and X-23 is making a return in the next season, but we never actually got down to the meat of what's going on as far as the characters, and the big issue that happened with that is that Retro Assist Me happened. And Capcom actually came to us and commissioned us to make an Assist Me related around old Capcom games, and when it came to Marvel vs. Capcom 1, I was like, this Marvel 1. Marvel 1 is my favorite Marvel vs. Capcom by leaps and bounds, and we spent a lot of time on that one. Retro Assist Me, as you guys know, is a Back to the Future parody. A completely original Back to the Future parody. And we had a lot of fun with that.
I think it would be cool. We actually basically came up with 2 ideas in the very early stages, and we basically said, okay, we're either going to do something that's kind of really vaguely Bill and Ted,
yes,
or it's going to be Back to the Future.
Because it was retro, we wanted it to be retro, yeah. And so did Capcom.
Because the whole thing was, okay, if we're doing old games, we got to have a time traveling mechanic of some sort. Because too many of the jokes write themselves with how video games were in the 90s as opposed to today and DLC.
Game Boy Color? That's good. Oh, I wish Wesker was here. He couldn't make it. I'm sorry.
There were a lot of. We knew we wanted to say the bomb, but we were trying to figure out what would be the bomb in the future, not out yet in '97, but coming very soon. And what would be the bomb to us back then?
Yeah, what would have been amazing?
I think Game Boy Color was the best thing we could come up with at the time.
Virtual Boy.
I would have been Killer Instinct on Ultra 64 is coming, bro.
Yeah, Virtual Boy was kind of dead by then, though. So yeah, I don't know. The Neo Geo Pocket Color could have been it, but that's way niche,
So that's where we left off with the story of Assist Me. We've done some kind of side things like the Harlem Shake and other small videos related around the pony game and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
So we've been slowly trying to tease that there's going to be more Assist Me, but big things happen. Our friend Mike who plays Wesker had a kid. He's a father now, a father, Wesker the dad, which makes sense if that happens in the game too.
No, he didn't name it Jake.
God, he didn't. His name's Jack though, isn't it?
James.
It's James. Okay. That. So sad. So we've been freaking busy, and we finally got Mike to come back and help us out by making episodes. And season 3, for the most part, isn't being written and directed by myself, which has been pretty much everything Assist Me wise. For Retro, we kind of came together, all 3 of us, and put Retro together.
Yeah.
And came with an idea.
I was kind of like this. I probably was like the spearhead writer on
Yeah.
retro because I was just like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I was kind of like anal about a few things on retro. So
Yeah.
if you have beef with it, you can blame me.
However, with a lot of the stuff we've done, I kind of like spearhead most of it with like direction and editing. It's still going to remain the same. I'm going to be the primary editor. Gameplay stuff is still going to be all done by myself. For you guys who still are looking for Marvel tutorials. We're kind of late in the game at this point. But they will be there. Oh my god, there's a dog. It's my dog, Benny. And this season's actually going to be directed halfway by Mike Wesker and our other cinematographer, Andrew, he's a film major, he's a brilliant guy, he pretty much taught me how to film and shoot all of Assist Me, and it's helped out a ton. As a result, I pretty much shot retro by myself with small help, and it actually became a thing and it worked, so I can thank him a ton for all the help that he's done. And he's spearheading and writing and directing with Mike the new season, so the new season's a little bit more edgy, I would say.
It's you're good at like, okay, if you're really good at picking up like writing styles and humor styles, you'll see how it's a little different from before.
It's a little different from before. The jokes are a little bit more adult, I would say.
They're nowhere near as adult as they would be if I was writing this.
He was pushing some stuff, like, guys, we can't, no.
Yeah, there's a
We're not
really,
doing
okay,
that.
the worst, probably the raunchiest joke in this entire season, which would make it the entire show entirely, is a joke that I came up with and was like adamant about getting in there. So I won't spoil it because it's way too good, but when you see it, you'll know that it's absolutely filthy, and that was totally my idea.
I also wanted to give a big personal shout out. Today we have posters that are going to be available for all of you guys. Hopefully you just hold one of them up if you guys
Please
don't
don't
get one yet.
destroy it with your claws.
Video game / Assist Me posters, they'll be absolutely free, and this artwork is actually designed, but I believe his name is Alpha00, a fan art and a fan of Assist Me in the show. Guys, like, fan art's like my favorite thing ever.
Do we know his real name?
I only come across him on DeviantArt, and his name's like Alpha00, and if he's watching this, that'd be freaking amazing. If he's here, that's even more amazing.
He's watching, he's like, that is my real name.
And thanks to him, these posters are possible, so I want to give him a huge personal thanks. So, let's get this started and watch the trailer to Season 3.
Yeah?
My question is that, as starting out as a YouTube channel person, how is it that it's motivated you to keep going as well as in your life?
That's a great question. Asking, as far as starting on YouTube, what was the motivation to keep going as far as like making it a frequent thing, and to the habit of which I've done now. And man, it's crazy. I doubt any of you guys have seen the stuff I did super pre-Assist Me, like before Ultimate Marvel 3. It was literally Call of Duty videos and like random Street Fighter 4 stuff. Yeah! And as much as I stopped playing Call of Duty for the most part, and I just burned out on Black Ops 2, a lot of the stuff that remained is the fighting game content. And the stuff that really got me going was when I made the first Online Warrior episode. And shockingly, all that really was a combination of Call of Duty style commentary, which is just kind of like podcast commentary, and explaining to people what's going on while playing a game online. And that got a huge response. Like somehow, in that time frame, it's got a huge response. And through that, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna add like live action skits of my dog like beating up Wesker, you know, in the first Online Warrior episode, or the first couple. And after that, it ended up being an idea that stemmed of making Wesker eventually visit my house, which turned into Dr. Doom, which turned into Assist Me, and that was literally the process. It was like, so many people watched it, or actually at the start, like Doom Assist Me was kind of popular, and we had so much fun filming it, I think is what it was, that I just wanted to keep doing it. And now the big motivating factor is literally stuff like this. It's like introducing people to fighting games, and that's what a lot of folks come to me for now, and it's like, well, I just got into this, could you help me out with that? I just got into this, could you have any videos for that? And I like guide them to videos, and not even understanding, but man, thinking in the perspective of like where I came from fighting games and actually given the opportunity that I have to introduce people to this like amazing freaking community and these games, that the most hype thing on the planet in my opinion is like a dream come true. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
And because right now I'm currently trying to do my own thing at Fighting Game Gems. Is there any kind of advice you could give to me?
If you, oh my god, there is a horse and everyone look at that man. Everyone look at that man. I came here from across the salt, all the way from across the salt.
Anybody see some of our PAX videos?
And did you see Doom getting slapped in the face as a horse head?
Yeah, that totally happened. Look it up.
So the question was, as far as like getting started on YouTube, like any advice and stuff like that. The best advice I can give is the advice that I took, and is I took a lot of time on the videos I was making. Like the Online Warrior original episodes, I barely knew how to edit. I barely knew how to pilot a camera. You know, all I knew how to play was video games, and I was extremely shy and awkward in front of any speaking position. But I put something together, and it took me days, like days to put it together and learn. And I think if there's anything that I can say of why the stuff I did might have taken off, it was the time. Like I put a lot of time into all this stuff, and that somehow got noticed by some people, especially with like Doom Assist Me and stuff like that. People are like, "Whoa, this is shot really well," and you know all this stuff, and it's moderately funny. So I would say invest as much time into it as you want people to pay attention.
Okay.
And if you have an idea to make something better, always do it.
All right.
I see a hand in the back. I'm going to pay attention.
Guys, it's Atala from Fighting Game JEMDS here with my good buddy now, Maximilian. Miles 19. Tell us how you're enjoying the tournament so far.
A lot, man. EVO's the biggest fighting game thing ever. It's pretty awesome.
My question to you is, like, what do you think of the competition so far for Marvel and everything else?
It's pretty good. Marvel's a crazy random game, so it's about getting out of holes and making past all of that.
Alright, what do you think about the new news for Street Fighter?
I haven't actually heard anything yet.
I think what I heard is that Alex is going to be coming back.
Oh, I thought that was fake. They confirmed that was fake. Yeah, I think they said that. I've heard from somebody that Street Fighter Cross Tekken characters were going to be in the game, which I was already expecting to happen. So,
What's your experience so far with this year's tournament?
pretty good. It's where it's being held at is awful. Like the security support. It's a pretty big issue.